YouTube, what is up? It is early Saturday morning. And 2 days ago, I decided that I'm going to Baja. I was pretty much planning on skipping this year, which is unfortunate, but had a buddy that needed some help with his class 10, so I'm going to go down and pre-run and help him get to the finish line in his badass class 10. Should be pretty fun. I was thinking about everybody and just what it takes to go down and pre-run in Baja, and I thought we'd go over just a few things that are like must-haves, and then a bunch of things that I would recommend if you're planning to go to Baja and do pre-running. And I would recommend that too. Definitely, if you can find some time and make it happen, even if you're not down there racing, go down and pre-run. It's a blast. Some of the best times I've ever had riding down in Baja, Mexico. Decided to take the Polaris. Definitely not enough time for me to get the 4-seat ready, and my other 2 seats needs a little bit of maintenance before I would take it down there, that Can-Am. So the Polaris, she's my oldest off-road car, but honestly, I've done so much work to the Polaris to get it ready to race. It's just kind of bulletproof. And I love it, and it's comfortable, and Matt at Desert Speed really helped me tune in my shocks, and it's an awesome pre-running machine, or race machine for that matter. So let's go over it. So number one thing, if you're going to Baja, is you have to have a good set of tires, and I mean a tough set of tires. So there's a couple good ones. These are race tires. These are Tenzers. They're tough. So you cannot run Bighorns. You cannot run these OE tires, most of them. The ITP tires that come on the Polaris Turbo S are actually probably okay, but you gotta have good tires at Baja, or you'll ruin your trip, and you'll ruin all your buddies' trips too, because they'll be pulling you out of there. So yeah, just to make sure you have a good 32-inch tire. I wouldn't go too much smaller than that. You're going to have big ruts and rocks and things hanging that try to grab you. You want at least a 32-inch tire in Baja, and make sure it's a high quality. There's a couple good ITPs. There's probably 1 or 2 good Maxxis tires that you could take. There's a couple BFGs you can go down there with. There's a couple good Tenzers you can go down there with. Just get a good quality tire. If you're going to Baja without a tire, you're in trouble. So, tire. And you got to have a spare tire also. So make sure you got a good spare tire setup. But that's definitely your number one, is tire. So you have to plan for extra fuel in Baja. So for me, I'm going to have 2 4.5 gallon roto packs that will fit perfectly in the Polaris. They make ones that fit in the Polaris bed perfectly, and that's what I chose to go with. Okay, next thing that's kind of a must-have is you got to have fresh air. If you're going to be down there, you definitely have to have fresh air for your motor and fresh air for your helmet. I would just call it a must, honestly. So, I don't know. I guess it's not a must, but I would highly, highly recommend fresh air systems if you're going to Baja. You don't want to ruin your brand new machine with silt, with not having it like an S&B or something. And then having fresh air for your helmet is freaking awesome. So I would recommend that. You're going to have to spend a little money if you're going down there. Next thing you're going to want to have is you got to have communications. So you want communications with your co-driver or partner, and you want to be able to get to your chase truck or anybody else. So probably going to need either some PCI or rugged radios to get you to be able to communicate down there. So next thing, GPS. If you're out there pre-running, you need to know where the trail is. You need to know where towns are. You're going to have some good notes. This is a new setup. I'm pretty stoked to try it. iPad Pro setup, but with lead nav. Really going to be cool. You can also go landscape, which is probably what vertical. But yeah, you're going to want a GPS. So I've got the iPad GPS with lead nav, and then I also have the external airplane sensor. So this guy here. Next thing that you're going to definitely want to have is lights. So, yeah, a couple good light bars would be, at least one good light bar. You're going to get caught in the nighttime, and you're going to want a good set of lights. So you can run a stock cage down there. You don't have to change your cage. Another thing that let's see. So those are kind of like the must-haves. You've got to have good tires. You need to have GPS. You need to have fresh air. You need to have good communications. Okay, and you have to plan for extra gas. So spare tire, extra gas. Oh, and tools. You've got to have a good set of tools. I've got the glove box stuffed full of my toolkit. I've got a couple bags in there. So I have enough tools to change tires, belts, a bunch of spare bolts, duct tape, zip ties, just kind of like at least the bare necessities to kind of patch this thing up and keep it going. When you're in Baja, you don't have access to anything. There's no Polaris dealer or Can-Am dealer in Ensenada. So it's tough to get stuff. Oh, spare belts. I'll have 2 extra spare belts on me at all times. And I never really blow belts in this machine, but still, you're going to want to have the spare belts. So that's kind of, and then make sure if you're going down there too, you got to check every nut and bolt, and you got to check all your fluids, like make sure they're new, full, just ready to go. So those would be my must-haves for pre-running in Baja, and then there's some stuff that I just like to have. It's funny, I race with a winch, which is pretty silly to put all the extra weight on your machine, but I have used my winch in racing, and I've used my winch a ton in pre-running. So I love having the winch. I've got a tree strap and a tree saver and a tow strap in the car. I can help other people. I can help myself. It's freaking a lifesaver. So I do love the winch for pre-running. Let's see. Oh, a good set of seats. These PRPs have worked great in the RZR. And being comfortable down there with a nice set of 5-point harnesses pre-running is just freaking awesome. Baja is a blast, and having a comfortable, fun, fast, capable machine with a good set of seats really makes the experience good. So recommend seats. Definitely recommend a couple of fire extinguishers would be good. What else? Oh, it's not a bad idea to strengthen it up, There's a lot of little sneaky rocks and washes and stuff down in Baja, and either a very strong lower control arm or some kind of a guard would be a good idea. I also love the mud flaps. Thanks, John. It just helps down there. So yeah, having your strong arms, again, I'm not going to call it a must necessarily, but if you're going to take it serious, I'd beef up your suspension. So I'd get your shocks redone. Stock shocks are okay, but there is such a huge difference on shocks if you have them retuned. And especially on a Polaris, getting rid of the stupid helper springs and fixing the valving and getting rid of your leaky nitrogen. So Matt does these machine caps. So, if you're running a couple-year-old Rzr, your nitrogen's probably at 0. It just leaks out. So check your suspension, get rid of those helper springs, make sure you're ready to go. What else? I think that's it. I have a first aid kit for emergencies. I always bring a satellite texter. If there's any random problems down there. We've got front and rear bumpers for racing, not a must. I'm pretty excited my camera setup. I'm going to get 3 angles this year. It's going to be pretty cool. And I'll probably set up the Class 10 that we'll be racing with a camera setup too. Try to get some cool videos for you guys. But yeah, there's your kind of like, if you're thinking about pre-running down there, make sure you really go through your car, because the last thing you want to have happen is a problem down in Baja. It is exponentially tougher to fix things down in Baja. So there's a lot of good people down there that will probably help you out. You know, everybody's really cool. All the races are really cool, but go down and pre-run, make sure your vehicle's ready. I appreciate you guys, and look forward to more race videos over the next couple weeks. Okay, thanks guys. See ya.